Hey folks, this is Mike here with the Long Shot. The last gun video I put out, I was talking trash on this Arken EPL4 hunting scope. I said that the reticle and the scope body were not aligned, therefore I thought that was a defect. And a lot of people had problems with that, calling me names, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I still think I'm right, but I wanted to humor folks and test and, continue to prove out my theory that the reticle and the scope body must be aligned for the scope to be functional. So out here in my backyard, and we're going to do a tall target test, which should confirm one way or the other. So let's go ahead and see what we get. All right, so what I did was oh my gosh, my turkeys. Go away. Super annoying. If you're lucky, you might get to see me mounted by a turkey here on YouTube. All right. So what I did was, I know a lot of people have different scope mounting methods. I like to QC my scopes and make sure that the turret body, so that would be under like this flat surface under here, and the turret housing are aligned to the reticle, and then basically get the top of the cap level. I know the top of the cap is not inherently level, but you can level the top of the cap with the body of the turret on the bottom if you have a nicely built, well-built scope. And then I will get that level it off the action, mount it, go out, do a tall target test, make sure everything is good. Tall target test, basically where you hold the same point of aim, but you dial up on your turrets, moving the point of impact up, and it should be completely plumb if everything is mounted properly and level. So I couldn't get it mounted off the body, and that's a problem because as the way that the turret works, basically it has screws and springs. If the turret body is misaligned, now when you dial up, it's going to be going on a diagonal. So I know everybody thinks, hey, Mike, you're a complete idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Just level it off the reticle. You're fine. You're sending back a completely fine scope, but that is not the case. The turret body and the reticle must be aligned if you have a dialing turret. If it's just a fix like 3 to 9 that you're deer hunting with, sure, you can level the reticle, and as long as you're just doing holdovers and you're not moving any turrets, it's probably going to be fine. But I want the top, the best equipment. It has to be QC coming from the factory for me. Like, everything should be aligned, because when you're dialing, you need that to be going perfectly plumb up and down. If the body is canted from the reticle, you mount it by leveling the reticle with like a plumb bob or something like that, or projecting the reticle off onto a screen and making sure that's level. And your turret body is misaligned. Now, as you work the turrets, go up, you're actually going to be walking to the side, and the data that you're using for your firing solution is not going to be accurate. So we're going to do a tall target test right now. I got 5 shots. This is a 7 PRC Tikka T3X Ace game. I really like this rifle. I've been doing some load development, getting it dialed in. So let's go ahead, knock out a quick tall target test and see if I was correct, and if just getting it plumb and mounted based off of the reticle is good enough. All right, while I'm shooting here, I also want to tell you, and come on guys, hopefully you know me by now. I don't care. Like, if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. So I'm not trying to make myself right by now throwing in other thoughts on this. I just generally don't like this scope. I'm kind of annoyed that my hunt is coming up next week, and I don't really have another scope that's not like super heavy. So I think I'm actually going to throw a heavier scope on here and just deal with it, pack it way up in the backcountry for my mule deer hunt. But there's a lot of other things I don't like about the scope while I was getting it set up. First of all, the clarity is not great. The eye box is very tight. Like, I think you'll notice that it's usually, the eye box feels tighter because it's less clear on cheaper scopes. This is a cheap Chinese made scope. I do like the higher end Arkens, but this is, not a super expensive one. The turrets, like, I really struggled to, when I was getting the zero stop, I really struggled to get it to stop. And getting that turret slipped and reset as I was getting zeroed was not good. Like, I'm not sure that this is not going to just slip right now, even though I have it tightened down. It's a shame. I wanted to like it. I liked Arken. I still think they're, you know, make decent products, but was really struggling with some of those features. Getting this gun zeroed, it's possible. Like, you know, you can hunt with this. If you really don't want to afford more, you can absolutely hunt with this, but I would definitely QC it and make sure it's good to go. All right, let's do a tall target test. I have my MGT level here. Now I'm still working a little bit on load development. This load shooting about 1 MOA. So I really need to be honest with myself when we're assessing the tall target. If, you know, if it's within the general group size out, you know, of bounds, like, we can't really call that a success or not. So let's go and just confirm my light is telling me I'm level. The reticle looks nice. Go up a mil. All right, I'm now at 2 mils. Not looking good so far, guys. Now I'm at 3 mils, so at 100 yards, that should be around 9 inches. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know why people would be so invested in a cheap scope made in China that they would come on my channel, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, if you want to talk smack, that's fine, but it's not like I am talking bad about a person. Like, this is a brand that makes Chinese scopes. Like, who cares? I'm saying a cheap scope is cheap, and you should be careful. You should beware. People are even saying the word beware is too strong. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't care that much either. I just want people to know, hey, don't forget when you're buying cheap scopes, like, these are some things to look out for. If you're okay with these, that's fine. I want you to be happy with your equipment, but I'm not out here to just bash scopes. I just want people to know, like, hey, I know we've seen that Chinese scopes have gotten a lot better in the past 10, 15 years, but don't forget that they're still not as good as that quality glass. Like, there's no way it's going to touch, you know, a Night Force, any of those top brands, even the higher end Vortex. Like, there's no way. At least the Vortex, you can run your truck over it and get a new one, right? All right, oh, slime down again. All right, that one actually came back to the right a bit. Let's go see what we got. All right, folks, I'm here at the target. Remember, my zero was off to start, and then I tried the best to level the target. You can see my footing here is in hillside out in the country, and I think I ended up not having the most plumb line here. So what we did is, look, all I did was aim at this point and level the gun. So I didn't actually, like, it doesn't matter if this line is straight. I got the laser level set back up going through my first shot. So I think that if we just use that line, we should be absolutely plumb. Let's see where we end up. 3-shot group at 5 mils, and you can see, I know it's hard to tell in the video, but that's about 1 inch left of that line, and it's only about, you know, 1.25 inch group. So, well, I got to work on load development for that 1.25 inch, a little too much for a hunting, you know, long range hunting rig. I mean, to me, that's like a clear signal that this tall target test has proven that the reticle is not aligned within the scope body. I don't know what else to say. You guys can think what you want. Again, I hope this is helping people. If you take away nothing from this, if you care nothing about the Arken scope itself, whether I'm saying that's good or not, who cares? What I want you to know is that this is how you should mount your scopes. You should QC them. You should come out, do a tall target test, because that's really the only thing that's going to tell you if you have that thing aligned properly, and it could show you, you know, that you're going to be, look, an inch at 100 yards. I mean, that's 5 at 500, 7 at 700, right? Now you add in, the further you get out, you're calculating for wind. Like, you don't want to have those extra variables, right? I mean, 7 inches at 700 on the elk of a lifetime, that could be the difference between, you know, blasting its shoulder into its vitals and clipping its brisket, or, you know, something like that. So some guys may not care. I do care. I'm spending a lot of money to go on these Western hunts this year, so I'm going to pull that scope off, send it back. Maybe I use it too much. Maybe it's just going to go in the trash. But again, remember, if that body is not aligned, what happened? Okay, so let's say that the turret body is misaligned and the reticle is straight while the turret body is canted to the left. What's going to happen when you dial up? A screw is going to turn and it is going to push that down so that you pull the scope up, and now it is not plumb with, you know, with the earth and with gravity. So you have to have that turret body aligned. It has to be plumb with inside the scope and aligned to the reticle. Otherwise, as you dial up, you're just going to be getting off left or off to the right, depending on which way it's canted. So hopefully this helps. Again, disappointed in the scope, but, you know, not really. Like, it's a cheap Chinese scope, and if I was just going to hunt 2 yards in the mountains of, or 200 yards in the mountains of Western North Carolina, like, it'd probably do fine. So, you know, it's just the long range game, being picky. Just reminding folks, like, you get what you pay for. A $300 scope is not going to perform the same as a $3,000 scope. Not here to prove anybody wrong, just showing my methodology. Hopefully it helps people. If you want to, you know, talk trash in the comments, go for it. It's always exciting. Well, take care. See you next time on The Long Shot.